Hello everyone, and welcome to another Technique Tuesday. Today we're going to be doing some scrapbook paper on our project. So there are two ways to do scrapbook paper. Both of them start with the same first step, and that is you take your piece that you're going to be putting the scrapbook paper on, and you lay it face down on the back of your paper, and you draw around it. Now, I use scrapbook paper on a variety of projects. These word blocks are a good one. But other projects that use scrapbook paper well are the bodies or the hats of gnomes. But it's really an easy thing to do. And like I said, there are two methods. There's a wet method and a dry method. Personally, I prefer the dry method because you get no wrinkles. This is pretty heavy cardstock, so I'm probably not going to get wrinkles in it. But if it was a lighter paper, I would be more likely to get wrinkles. So once you have your piece cut out, you're going to take the sponge brush or whatever brush you're using and get your Mod Podge out. And we're just going to coat our wood with Mod Podge. And you'll notice I had my sponge brush in a baggie. I keep my Mod Podge brush in a baggie so I don't have to use a new one every time I do Mod Podge, because I do it pretty regularly. And we're just going to coat a good coating on our piece. And then while it is still wet, which is why this one's called the wet method, while it is still wet, we are going to put our piece of paper on there and get it where we want it so it'll stick. So let's put our paper on here. And if there's an up or a down, make sure you use, orient it correctly. Mine really doesn't have an up and a down. Just put it on there the way you want it to appear. And you want to make sure you cover all your edges. Usually you'll go over a little bit on an edge and you'll end up sanding that off at the end here. And that's all there is really to the wet method. The dry method's not a whole lot different. Like I said, the dry method will always give you a clean piece and without any wrinkles. But I've got the rest of the letters here for this set done, already cut out, so I'm going to lay them all out here. And I'm just laying them out on this is a pad to protect my work surface from getting too hot. And then you want to, you put your Mod Podge on the night before, I don't know if I said that, and let it completely dry on your wood. So it's already on there and it's dry. You're going to put a piece of wax paper over the top of them, just so that you don't have any Mod Podge get out on your iron. And you want a completely dry iron. So I have a little bitty one that I bought for like $19 at Walmart. You can use your regular iron, just make sure you have all the water out of it so you don't have any steam. Or you can use a heat press. I have a heat press that I could use, but for this kind of stuff I usually just use this little iron. It's quicker to heat up, quicker to cool down. It's just a lot easier and quicker for me, I think. But make sure you get around the edges on all of them, on however many pieces you're doing at once. I'm doing several pieces here. And basically the heat from the iron is reactivating that Mod Podge to make it stick, make the paper stick to the wood. You're just going to check your edges, make sure all your edges are stuck down good. And then what I usually do, because you never get a perfect edge, it's always got a little bit hanging over or a little bit not quite there. So I usually will just along my edges use a piece of sandpaper to rough them up a little bit and give them a little bit of a worn look. You don't have to do that step. That step just makes them look just a little better so that you don't have to worry about whether or not that edge is perfect. Once you've got one done, you're just going to wipe it with a microfiber cloth to get any extra sandpaper off of it, and then in this case I'm going to be gluing letters on top of it, and I probably won't grab the right letter for this one. I'll grab the letter for this one. I know. But as you can see, we're just going to lay our letters on top and glue them on, and then put our pieces together to form our family word block. So that's how you use scrapbook paper when you're doing projects in your when you're painting projects. If you have any questions, obviously make a comment below, and we hope we see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.